Hi, I'm Alice and this is Plant Slut. Today I'm going to show you how I take care of every single pest naturally, organically, without any harsh chemicals anyway. Let's do it. So I thought I was going to get a lot more done yesterday than I did, and part of this video is filmed yesterday and part of it is filmed today. If I repeat anything, I'm sorry. The second part of this video is going to be me showing you how I actually make my shit, like a recipe, I suppose. So I'll try and do those timestampy thingies down below, if not the time we're here, and you can click through if you just want to see how to make it. So this is my go-to. That's not it. That is my go-to. It is water, oil, and soap. That's all. Like, oil that you can eat, soap that you wash your dishes with, water that you drink. So it's not gonna hurt you in any way. You still probably shouldn't drink it. But what it does is it blocks the breathing holes of your pests, and that's about it. It's really great. One big problem with pesticides is that because the pests, insects or arachnids, spider mites, breed so quickly, they can quickly develop an immunity or a resistance to the chemicals that we use. So the chemical that I use is pyrethrum. It comes from a cute little pretty daisy, and it breaks down really quickly after it's worked. I'm pretty sure that the mode of action for this is like that they have to eat it. But that's what they're doing to your plant anyway. This coats the surface, the pest eats it, you got it. I use this as sparingly as possible. It is poisonous, but it is organic. So don't drink it, but it will break down quickly in the environment once it's done what it's supposed to do. I honestly can't remember the last time I used this. I use it a little bit more outside because rain and stuff will wash away the oil, but this works really quickly. Actually, no, you can just spray it on them. They do seem to die. So this is great. What I don't use is neem, because that sort of, if you didn't realize, neem is actually a chemical. I didn't realize this for a long time. It's not just an oil, it's also an insecticide, which things can build up a resistance to if you're using it really regularly, because it's got the oil, so it's also physical. It's got a physical effect as well as the chemical effect, but you really don't need to be using a physical and chemical effect at the same time. That's why I use them separately. So I go in with the physical, which they can't build a resistance to, which is the oil. And if that has not worked after 3 sprays or something, then I go with that. But it pretty much always works. Like I said, I can't remember the last time I used pyrethrum inside. If you're really interested in knowing what is going on with the chemicals that you're using, one thing that's interesting to look up, or a good idea to look up, is the, what are they called? MSDS or SDS, so that's the Material Safety Data Sheet. And all you do, so for pyrethrum, you would look up pyrethrum, MSDS, and you'll find one. When a company is trying to register a chemical, they have to perform all these different tests. to show not that it's not toxic, but that how toxic it is. So yeah, if you're ever interested, look up one of those. They'll give you some info, like how many grams did it take to kill a fish. You know, interesting stuff. But you've also got to, I'm pretty sure on those they'll show you things like whether it's active in soil or how long it takes to break down, which is also important, not just, you know, how toxic is it, but how long is it toxic for. So pyrethrum and neem, they'll both, because they're organic based, they will break down in the environment, which is super cool. But some of your harsher chemicals just linger and are really toxic. So just be careful. I did also just want to talk briefly about IPM, or integrated pest management, which a lot of people have probably heard about because Summer Rain Oaks has mentioned it a few times, I believe. So it's basically, well, it's this whole thing about like saving money in the nursery industry essentially, but it also just happens to be more environmentally sustainable. So the thing I wanted to discuss was like the hierarchy of controls. So first up, you've got like cultural or sanitation control measures. So that would be things like isolating plants when you bring new ones in, or if you find a pest, isolating the plant. But it's also things like knowing the conditions that your plant actually prefers, and if you can grow it in the conditions that it prefers, it is less likely to be stressed and putting out stress signals which attract pests. So I do that a bit. I will put stuff in the back room because the door is open in there all the time and there's just bugs in there. If I find something in here, it goes out. The next level down is physical or mechanical intervention. So that would actually be something like this, soap and oil, because it's a physical control. It's stopping the breathing. It's not a chemical going in there and killing stuff. Or things like picking off your scale, squashing your aphids. You know, it's free real estate, cheap, easy control. And then you've got things like biological control, and I will show you my boys. Keep them. Keep your spiders. Like, let them do their thing. They're going around eating stuff for you. Like, don't kill spiders. Don't do that. Another thing that I use is BTI, the Bacillus thunbergii israelensis mosquito dunks, for fungus gnats, but they're like not even a pest, so. And there are plenty of other options, but here in Australia at least, they're generally quite expensive and aimed at like industry, so you're buying like a kilo of predatory mites or whatever. So I haven't gone into that. And then your last control option should be chemical. So yeah, it's saving you money because you don't have to buy chemicals because they can be expensive. And it's also environmentally friendly. So yeah, just some stuff to keep in mind if you are looking to kill some shit. You know, kill them in a way which is good for everyone. I think that's all I've got to say. And then we'll move on to the making the actual shit, I guess. So I need to spray some stuff because those guys have like spider mites and scale. So I thought I'd show you how I treat pretty much everything. And it's really simple, so let's do it. So you're going to need a spray bottle. You're going to need some liquid soap of any kind really, as long as it's something quite gentle. We always use a, you know, like a earth stuff, which I don't even know what that means, but it's gentle. and you're going to need some kind of oil. I use grapeseed oil because you can see it's super runny. It's almost watery. You can use pretty much any oil, but I just use this because the purpose of the soap is to break the surface tension of the oil so that it will mix with the water. So I feel like if I have a thinner oil, it's going to break the surface tension more easily. I don't know, it's just an idea. And the oil is because insects and mites don't actually breathe through their mouths. They have these little holes on their sides called ventricles, something. And they can't really close them. So if you cover those holes with oil, which is sticky and will like stick on there, they can't breathe and they die. So this works for spider mites, aphids, mealybugs, and scale. I think that with scale what it does is it's creating a blockage around the scale itself so that then it can't breathe. And they'll usually let go. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll do this, I'll spray the whole thing down. So we're going to put just a drop like that. I will spray the plant down, and then I need to have two hands. I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. So you just add a layer at the bottom. It's probably too much, probably more like there, just like so that there's a flat layer across the bottom of the bottle. So then you just fill it with water and shake it up, and you will need to shake it every time you use it and as you're using it, because the oil will recondense, and so you just want to break that surface tension again with the soap and make it mix with the water. How I use this is I will spray the plant down, and then I will leave it in the sun. If it's below about 23 degrees, I'll leave it in the sun, or otherwise I'll just leave it somewhere else for like an hour maybe, and then I'll spray it down with the hose. Or if I'm just feeling lazy, I'll just like spray it and it still works. It's just, you know, better, it'll get rid of everything if you spray it down. For this one, you can see I've got scale on this stem here. It's a nice little brown scale. I'm going to cut that leaf off because it's the oldest leaf and it's all yellow anyway. So scale is not the only problem we have here though. We've also got spider mites on this Philodendron bipennifolium and Ficus religiosa. I just had a look and I can't actually see any because I did spray these both down with what was left in the bottle already. But I can show you some damage. That yellowing, and there. I'm not sure if this guy actually maybe has a virus, but I've looked it up and I can't find anything that looks exactly like this. On this guy, you can see there's teeny tiny little dots on the front of the leaf, and on the back, still can't really see any boys. So I think I have got them, but I'm just going to spray again just to be sure, and I'm going to squirt these guys down with the hose. It is a good idea to do repeat treatments with this stuff because you're not ever going to get any sort of resistance building up because it's a physical treatment. Like they're not going to grow a different way of breathing. Like you can build up resistance to an actual like chemical pesticide. That's about it. That's what I do. Squirt them, spray them, and things die. And they're pretty good. I hope that this was useful. Pest control doesn't have to be scary or involve chemicals at all. Hope you have a great day. Like this video, comment down below, let me know what you do. And if this was fun,